Hello everyone, and welcome to the second video of Assault Rifles Only Axton. In this video, I will be getting the Blaster Assault Rifle, and will be getting to Captain Flint, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. The pathway for getting the Blaster Assault Rifle takes about a minute and 50 seconds per run. Um, Midgemong drops the Blaster. It will it's somewhat slow, but hopefully my commentary will make it slightly less so. There are a few skips for this area, one of them being on these boxes, which I will show later on. And so yeah, I I will be killing enemies like these mini bosses with my guns, hopefully, and if my guns don't have enough DPS, which at this current moment I do not have good DPS weapons, I will be using a Skyrocket Assault Rifle. I will not use it as a clutch at all, or a crutch. The I will mostly be throwing only one Skyrocket per kill. The I don't want to rely on it. This is assault rifles only. If it was grenades only, first of all, I might not even be playing Salvador. I might be playing Axton or Krieg for that. But yeah. So uh, right here we got a turret barrel assault rifle. It is Dahl. I already had a Vladov turret barrel assault rifle from the previous episode. So yeah, now we get to dual wield miniguns. The Vladov version, in my opinion, is better because it has a higher fire rate, but this one will do just fine. I do want to clarify that I do want to add some clarity to something. I accidentally forgot to save and quit after the last video. Don't worry, I didn't have to rerun the whatever everything that I did in the last video. All that I had to do was return in the quests for Bad Hair Day as well as the Shielded Favors quest, which don't give any assault rifles, so that's not really that much of a problem to me. All that it gave was a cosmetic head as well as a sniper rifle because I did turn the quest into Hammerlock. Um, the vendors in here are pretty nice. They don't give anything such as class mods. Midgemong is a good XP farm, so I will be hopefully getting to level 9 so that once I turn in the Sanctuary quest, um, Dr. Zed's vendors will be able to sell me class mods. The class mod that I will be looking for is the Hoarder class mod, which I do believe that at level 9 it can spawn with anywhere from zero point 0.6 ammo regen to 1.0 ammo regen per second. I do believe that stat correlates like that. I might also be going for a Berserker class mod. The Hoarder class mod is kind of a rare class mod to get from early game, or I think it's Salvador's rarest class mod, I do believe. The only one that might compete with it is the Raider class mod, but those are just from my personal experiences. Don't take my word for it. The Berserker class mod is another one. The best roll, I do believe, is a 20% cooldown rate, which is pretty nice. Right now, I want to run a Hoarder build for the normal mode of the game. I don't necessarily um, want to. I won't be crutching on a Berserker class mod for the cooldown rate just so that I can have Gunzerk up all the time. Because while Salvador's main gimmick is Gunzerk, I do like the spray type of playstyle. We do get a nice clutch right there. with our save from Fight for Your Life. Um, the hardest part of the Midgemong boss fight is definitely not, it's not the projectiles from the Midgemong, it's projectiles from the badass midget on top of him. Um, we do, luckily, right here, get a Spitter assault rifle. It is a Torg-bodied assault rifle with a Vladoff turret barrel, and in my opinion, it is the best turret-barreled assault rifle for that certain section of assault rifles. It has a pretty high damage. It has a pretty decent fire rate. The only drawbacks are that it has slower projectile speed and it also is less accurate, but thankfully its explosive damage and its splash negates that because you don't necessarily have to hit an enemy dead on. You can just shoot at their feet to deal damage. A interesting fact with Krieg that I learned was that if you shoot at an enemy's floor to kill it, or if you shoot at the floor below an enemy to kill it, it has a higher chance at activating Bloodbath than just shooting the enemy normally. Because I don't, I understand the concept behind Krieg only proccing Bloodbath off of splash damage, but I feel as if all explosive damage should do that. Like, um, I don't know what explosive damage doesn't do that. I would think something along the lines of something like Axton's turret missiles wouldn't do splash damage, but they do. I'll have to look more into it. But that's just an interesting fact that I found out. We do get a little bit of a boost from this Bullymong right here. Um, I have optimized this route as much as I could, just because while I have not played Borderlands 2 in a while, I have fought Midgemong a lot. I love getting the Kerblaster. It's like I get the Kerblaster as much, eh, probably even more than I get the Unkempt Herald. Um, Funnily enough. So this skip right here is my favorite one. I kind of found this out for myself. You jump on top of the boxes right there, and it kind of skips having to walk around. Um, and even if it wasn't a skip, I would still like to do it because I find the parkour in this game to be kind of fun, the movement to be kind of fun. I thought about it sometimes, like, what would I do if I designed a game? Like, what mechanics would I add? What would I do? We do get a better shield right there. Unfortunately, we get a bushwhack, and we are playing Salvador, which is sad. Um, what mechanics would I add if I were to make a game? And I can't really stray far away from the mechanics in Borderlands 2 just because it's one of my favorite games. We do luckily get another spitter right here, so we can dual wield them. I was pretty ecstatic in the moment right here because I've never gotten two spitters to dual wield. I've only ever gotten like a spitter and a other other type of minigun, like the Vladoff one that we had before. So we sell that off, we get our spitters. Um, you can drop weapons to cancel gun, sir. But anyways, one of my one I've often thought about if I would create a game, it would pretty much just be a basic game. I like roguelikes a lot, so it might have some roguelike-esque features to it. The I love the movement in Borderlands. That's something that I would probably have in my own game. Like the basic stuff like a lot of games like to have different movement mechanics. Like if you're jumping a lot, you get either slightly increased or slightly decreased speed by like 5% or something like that, and then sliding increases your damage or decreases your damage. I like crouch sliding. I think that crouch sliding is a lot more fun in my mind. I understand that it's not the most um not the most universally liked or like nowadays professional feature to have in a game, just because games are so like I don't know, like modern games. It's a lot easier to just put slide mechanics in, but crouch sliding is fun for me. Um, and I would put crouch sliding in a game if I were to make it. I've also thought about if I were to have specific rooms and that sort of thing, and I would have a variety of rooms. The section that we are in right now, I find it very interesting because it's an overhang cave type of thing. I realize that one of the walls is open. Right here we do go down and we get a crazy save right here. This is pretty interesting. So the spitter has very low accuracy, and I do hit the enemy right here, and I do save myself on barely any seconds left. Um, the we do get a Torgue assault rifle right here, but unfortunately it is not a spitter, so I do not care. The only other assault rifle that I really care about that is a Torgue assault rifle, other than the spitter, is the Seeker assault rifle. Um, but yeah, I would love to make a cave with kind of like the sunlight coming through it, kind of like the graphics. I'm not very good at like picturing in my head graphic design at all. Just base mechanics are kind of my forte. The but yeah, the I would want to make a cave map, an open sea area type map. I don't know, maybe like add in like janky boat mechanics and stuff like that to the game. Um, I would want to have a loot system kind of like Borderlands, you know, and it's something that I've thought about, and it's one of my goals to make a game. Um, I realize that they do take a lot of effort, and I am a college student right now, so it might it might add some hindrance to my ability in that way. The Midgemong does die before the badass midget, and so we do absolutely shred through that guy with both of our spitters. But yeah, this farm we have, I think, around anywhere from 7 to 9 kills on him right now, so we are quickly approaching the um the drop rate of it. Whenever I have farmed Kerblasters previously, I have always gotten them like later on, but they've also had super good parts, which is like which I love that because good parts on a weapon are very useful. The level, unfortunately, in this game Borderlands 2 as well as Borderlands the pre-sequel is a large factor when it comes to like the parts of it. The level isn't a part of it. Well, the level is a part of it, but not a physical part of the gun. Like it's not something that you can see on the screen. A perfectly parted per blaster, that's a lower level, is slightly worse than a horribly parted Kerblaster that is a level or two higher. It's I don't know. The If I were to make a game, I would definitely make the level scaling slightly different, and I would also add a sort of class weapon diversement. I've been playing a game called Path of Exile 2 a lot recently, and I it is a game that is in beta stages, so not everything stays the same. But I do like the fact that they have class specific weapon sets, and you can mix class um, build styles, which I find is interesting. But I would definitely like more class weapon set styles, like how there was in Borderlands 1. The characters, there would probably be 3 base characters, and in Path of Exile, and I mean in a lot of other games there are secondary class styles called ascendancies, and I would definitely want to build in a feature like that into the game. The three base roundings of so there's three characters. Each of them will have a specific three ascendancies. Um, but all three of those ascendancies will be similar in the fact that there will be a tank, a damage, and a healer style of them. And now I don't want the damage to be completely overpowered. I want the damage people to be able to die, you know, but I don't want it to be like a kind of thing of where people are forced to pick the damage class because I feel like that in a game is um very bad for for the game's longevity as well as its replayability. Um, but the class differences will be minute. 5%, in each direction, 5% more defense, 5% more health regen in terms of the healer, or in terms of the tank, or 5% defense, healer, 5% health regeneration, and then the damage dealing will be 5%. And of course, you could get into like the smaller portions of that. Like for the tank, it would be defense and then defense against a specific damage type. You could pick among that, as well as the healer having health regen and then health increases, as well as maybe a weapon life leeching ability, like how you get from the Moxie weapons in this game. The tank the tank and the healer will be very similar, but the healer will definitely have more health sustenance capabilities. And then the damage dealer will be able to choose between fire rate, gun damage, um, mag size. Um, I like the skills in Borderlands 2, like the one shot one kill skill as well as money shot, basing things off of mag size. So there could be like build diversement there when it comes to the damage dealer. It's something that I find is interesting, and you guys can let me know if you want to see me theory craft or maybe even build something. Something like that would be something that I would probably want to do on a live stream, which I have set up my Twitch for this YouTube channel, and I will most likely be streaming on Twitch. I don't know. I might switch over to YouTube. I don't know the exact numbers of everything and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it as if I do it for the numbers or any attention or something like that. I do this because it's a fun thing that I like to do. And, but yeah, just let me know about anything in terms of like building a game or creating um, certain theory mechanics and stuff like that for a game. But yeah, so unfortunately, we still have not obtained the Blaster yet. We have gotten several different items, um, which are good. The spitters are good, but they are not as good as the Blaster. The Blaster has, I think, half as much fire rate, but three times as much damage as a spitter, meaning that it does like 1.5 times as much DPS, which is sizable amount. This is early game, but I do like to have a good amount of damage throughout every portion of the game. Um, I'm not one for over farming, so when I do get a weapon, like if I were to get an unkempt herald, I would not be very specific on the parts. Same thing with the Blaster and stuff like that, because I do find farming fun, but I do like to save a large a large majority of the farming for the end game. I like farming a lot at the end game. Early game, I do like farming, but it's for certain weapons that I find is interesting. Unfortunately, Midgemong does decide to do his stupid cycle where he jumps up on top of this building, and I'm not having all of that, so I'm just gonna wait for him to jump back down so that I can see if he drops a Kerblaster, and if he doesn't, I'm just gonna save quit because I don't really want to be bothered. Unfortunately, an enemy does steal our kill, and I do think that that does steal our XP, but we still will be getting to level 9 before the next map or the Z vendor items. So I do want to get a bonus package from Boom Boom. I do believe that it is a 1 in 6 from each of them. I think it's a 1 in 3rd in total if you kill both of them. So don't quote me on that, but it is a very nice weapon to have for Captain Flint because Captain Flint does stay at that top portion right there, and I do kind of forget a lot to do the skips to do the skip into the arena early so that I can get up to that top part where he's at, and yeah, it is just nice to have an extra grenade damage source that isn't fire, because enemies like Captain Flint and Warden do not like fire very much. The fastball is a weapon that I could use for Warden, but I am not going to be too bothered with it. And look at that. We do get a Kerblaster, and it is perfectly parted, I do believe. I don't know about the prefix. I think that that's damage prefix, but less fire rate prefix. I don't really like the sight that much, but it is a cool sight to have on a Kerblaster. The um the damage for this weapon is really fun early game. So if this Bullymong Slinger would actually stand in the same spot, it would have been most likely a two-shot, and these bandits and stuff like that are going to die super quickly to this. If you do a certain amount of like overkill damage, and I'm not talking about the skill, I'm talking about just damage on any character to an enemy, it makes them splatter, and I think that that is super funny. Um, in I really hope that in Borderlands 4 we do keep this. There is the same splattery kind of effects in the trailer. There was, but I don't know if they're just doing it up for the trailer. I don't believe that Gearbox is the type of company to do that. In Wonderlands, they did allude to weapon crafting, but now we know that that was a lie and that was just another, just a recycled version of the gimmicky reroll thing for annoyance, which was unfortunate. The or sorry, enchantments they called them in that game. Right, I forget. It's a completely different franchise. Wonderlands is not at all comparative to Borderlands. Oh, what am I crazy? Um, but yeah, I do have high hopes for Borderlands 4. I do like the graphics of it. I do like how all the characters look and stuff like that. One thing that I do hope is that there is a end game. I do think that I do like the rogue room style that was incorporated in Wonderlands, but I do think that a specific game mode for that is what would be best fitting for it. Kind of like how that thing was done for Roguelands, the Borderlands 2 mod pack. And I am in general, I do like a lot of mod packs, and the way that I personally like mod packs is to have them be like a new game mode style type of thing for the game, kind of like Minecraft and stuff like that. Like kind of like a sandboxy kind of thing that you can do with the mods, and I like the fact that Roguelands does that. So we are about to send Claptrap off and away. I will not be killing any of these enemies. You guys can let me know if you want to see me do any. of if you guys want me to do like all of the mobbing and stuff for these areas. I have played through the game a good amount. Um, the um, the mobbing is kind of I like the mobbing in this game. It's just I do have enough XP, and that's how I kind of view it. I view it as, oh, I already have enough XP. I don't really need to kill these guys. But when I get to the end game, I will be posting videos of the end game of this character because I feel, from what I've seen, assault rifles Salvador is not really a utilized build variety. You see pistols, one of my favorite things to do with Salvador is Ladyfist Grog Nozzle. The Grog Nozzle triples the crit damage from the Ladyfist, and kind of have like a hoarder build for that. We do thankfully land this skip right here. It would have been very embarrassing if I missed it. I'm not very good at that skip. I do love that skip, and a cool thing. This is probably one of my favorite things to do with the Crew Blaster in this game. I know it's dumb, but it's to shoot right at Claptrap and then have all of the enemies die. And unfortunately, that one pesky Marauder does survive, and I do make a mistake coming up right here, which does lose about 3 minutes of the game. I'm not trying to rush anything or anything like that. I haven't played the game in a while. I do want to like kind of like find some enjoyment in it. We do get a crisp two skyrocket kill on this mobbing area right here, which normally it's about three. And this is where the mistake comes in. We did not wait, or I did not wait. You guys didn't do anything. I did not wait for Claptrap to complete his cycle. So when I did kill all the enemies, I did kill them too fast, and that did cause him to lock up. Um, the thing that I did try is lowering my FPS, which is kind of like a Hail Mary thing, because I thought this most likely will not work, but it does work for the elevator when Claptrap does get stuck. And so yeah, I have to um save quit and enter back into the game and run all the way back. Thank you, Claptrap. Thank you so much for that. That is so much fun. And so, yeah, so we will not be getting to Captain Flint today. We were almost there. I do apologize, but I do want you guys to understand that all of the blame is to be put on Claptrap for this. All right? He's my second favorite character in the pre-sequel. My favorite one being Wilhelm. But yeah, this is all Claptrap's fault. He deserves all of the shade. Um, but yeah. Um, so the one fortunate thing about this is that we do get a second chance at getting the bonus package from Boom Boom, and this was a very fun part for me. Um, I do like having a lot of damage early game, and I do think that it's fun to just shred through a boss. And so, watch this. Big Bertha dies and then Boom dies because of the baby or the child grenades. Um, that's pretty cool. And then Boom, his little brother, he dies because we get level up bonus. And so, yeah, so that was like a 10-second boss kill. Um, I know that I could have just skyrocketed those guys, but it is fun to do things like this. Right, and so today's episode is about to come to a close. Unfortunately, we did not get to Captain Flint, but we will for sure in tomorrow's video. And one of the things that I know that I will be doing in tomorrow's video is getting the E-Tech Blaster from Dr. Zed's side mission, Medical Mystery, as well as getting possibly an XP farm going. My two options that I have in mind are either Badma or Bull. But yeah, so this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.